Today we're getting back to gear. I want to talk about my Q2, quarter 2 loadout that I'm going with this year. Every quarter I change stuff up, I keep some stuff, I refine it, and I give it another quarter of use. And so today we're locking in my portable gaming, my hybrid gaming. What I've decided is my gaming solution as a dad on the go for the next quarter of the year, for Q2. April, May, June, right? And then July, August, September, and then November, October, November, December. Yeah, Q2. We're running the Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch OLED. Let me rephrase that. The Steam Deck OLED and the Nintendo Switch OLED. These are the two that I'm deciding to use this year. I do have a PlayStation 5. That PlayStation 5 currently is just my Final Fantasy VII Rebirth machine. That's all I'm playing on the PlayStation 5. I don't play any other games right now because I just don't have any other games that I'm that interested in. I am in the process of installing Chiaki for Deck, which is basically making your Steam Deck a PlayStation portable. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do that live though. If you do, I can wait to do it live. The only problem is there is IP address stuff, and so we're gonna have to get a little bit cryptic on how we go about that. But I'm willing to do that live with you guys if that's something you want. If you'd rather just see it working and not the setup process, then that's good. Same with EmuDeck. I haven't installed that yet, but EmuDeck is one of them. I'm retiring this. This is the RG35XX Plus. This is getting retired. It's a cool little machine. I love what it can do, but this is being retired. Q1, it was used, and now all of this is gonna be a part of my Steam Deck. But I'm gonna, again, go through my Steam Deck loadout because in my Nintendo Switch OLED loadout, not much has changed for the Steam Deck, except for a couple things. And yeah, let's grind some coffee and get after it. Let me just really quickly move this out of the way. Can I move it out of the way? No, I can't. I'm zoomed out too much. Well, I guess this is because my camera angle is a little bit off. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We're gonna have fun with it today. The first thing I want to say is I am running a portable gaming solution. As the past few months have have shown, like I'm just on the go all the time. And by on the go, it's just like in different places in my house. I am being pulled in multiple directions. And so in order for me to play, grab a mug in the thing below. In order for me to play more video games, I'm going to need to have a solution that is more tailored towards me. The Steam Deck, we've talked at length about what that does and how that is tailoring, the gaming experience is tailored more towards me, and so I'm able to get a better gaming experience because of the flexibility that's there, but that does come with some additional accessories. The Steam Deck as it stands by itself is great, but I think that it can be better with a few things, adjusting some of the ergonomics and then some additional controllers and stuff like that on the side. So as it stands, I'll show you, first we'll start with the Nintendo Switch because that's the newer thing to this. By newer, I mean newer permanent edition. I kind of retired the Switch, or at least I thought I retired the Switch because it was not serving me the best that I thought it did. I was really just being a little too dramatic about it. Honestly, the Switch is a great machine. It's still super, super fun to use and relevant. There's plenty of games to play, especially if you're newer to the system. There's a ton of games to play because if you haven't played anything that's really been out yet, you got a whole library, a complete library at that. So we'll first run down the Switch. My setup right now is simple. I'm using this Thumbtack case. It's like an Arceus, I don't know, I always call it the Arceus case. It's a soft case because inside is my Switch, which is in a hard case. This is the hard case. This is the Genki something case, flip case, whatever. I'm bad with names. Everything will be listed below though if you're interested. And what's nice is it has this flip cover. This is the best part, completely comes off. So you can take it off and you can throw it in here. And it allows for just a little bit of a bump. You can see right here on the overhead cam, we have a little bit of a bump here. And that is just enough to get a good enough gaming experience. I've used the Satisfy, Ronin, all these different things, great. I just don't like that the very, very sleek nature of a device like this is so absurdly expanded upon to have these big old controllers and this big thing, and it makes the actual case itself even bigger. So this is what I like. I have used this without this case, but I like having the combo for the added protection, and this just adds enough for me to have the right feel on the Switch itself. This extra stuff here. Now, these are just my favorite Joy-Cons to use. I have the OLED, the Tat-K OLED, but that's the Switch itself running, right? And so let me put this back on real quick and press out my coffee. Do a little stir skis. We're going with my buddy's coffee shop. Well, used to be. Today's a fun day. My brother, my best friend in the whole world, someone I grew up with, Steven, today he moves across the country. I live in California, and he is moving to Florida. And so that was a pretty interesting morning. He came by and said goodbye with him and his fiance, and they are moving to their new place in Pensacola, Florida. And my daughter said bye, and it was a really heartwarming experience, but also kind of a heart-wrenching one at that, because you know, when your best friend moves, it's a tough one, right? You think that when you're younger, it's harder. No, when you're older, it's harder. So anyway, that's this loadout, and we're going to be drinking that yummy coffee today, the Oso blend. My dad gave me this Ahsoka keychain, by the way. Super cool. With my Switch comes a few accessories that I share with the Steam Deck. But starting with the ones I don't share, this is the matching case. I don't know, whatever, dude. Matching case here. It's a soft case. In here is a few things. We have a panel. Now, if you don't want what's in here, which is that and an additional controller for, you know, some side scrollers, if you want to put this upright. Oh, also, actually, I should say about this little guy is you have the ability to do the kickstand still, because this flap moves, which is nice, but it doesn't magnet. So that's something that, like, I've never loved about it, but it's not enough, because when your hands are on it, they are rest on it, so it doesn't move around. In here has a flap for the game, so you don't necessarily need this additional case. You can fit everything in here if you wanted to, but I have that additional case because in here I have the 8-bit dough. Which one is this? The 8-bit dough SN30 Pro gamepad, so it has thumbsticks and a good D-pad. I like this a lot. So if I'm going to be playing and just chilling, this is a really fun one to use. And then I have a bunch of games. This has enough for 20 games. So I have in here right now 18, and so I think one's in the chamber, so I have 19 games on me. And that is that. This comes with 2 though. You can put 2 in here. 2 of those, so you can hold 40 games, but if there's 2, then this controller doesn't fit as easily, and I don't like that. And it doesn't have anything on the outside. This does have an outside zipper, but I don't really put anything in here because I don't have anything to put in here. Now with this matching, right, it looks good, it's matching. I have some stuff I use for both, right? And so because that case is on the Switch itself, the Switch doesn't actually have docking capabilities. So I can't dock it with that. And taking it out of the case and putting it back in is kind of a nuisance. So I've since switched my dock out. Oh, that's good. It's just a cable. Now I'm going to show you V2, but V1 is actually plugged in. So I have this. This is all of the cables I need with everything. And again, this is my bag in my backpack at all times from the Go Gaming. This is the Covert Dock 2. I'm looking over here because it has all of the information about this. And this is the Covert Dock Mini. So this right here allows you to do everything you need to do, and this is a dock. This right here is a full-blown dock. What it doesn't have is USB-A. It's just USB-C. I think it's I don't remember the exact specs, and HDMI out. This works as a dock fully. This I use as an additional power adapter for anything that I need to plug stuff into. I think this is 30 watts. I could be wrong here. 15. It's a 15 watter. Okay. Is it? I'll have to put it below. But yeah, so this is the Mini. This, though, is the real magic. This is the Covert Dock 2, and I have the specs right here. 50% more power. The Covert Dock 1, which is actually plugged in at all times, it says it's a 30-watt USB-C and USB-A. This is a 40 watt? 45 watt? 45 watt. So this actually I can use with my Steam Deck, which I do, because my Steam Deck doesn't have the additional plug in it, and we'll go into this in a second. This has USB-C 3.2. This has USB-A 2.0 and 4K HDMI, and I believe it's 4K 60 output. Yeah, 4K 60. You don't need to do 4K 60, but you can if you want to. So this actually, if you're on the go for some reason or you want to use this as your Steam Deck dock, you can. Now, what ends up falling short is with my Steam Deck, so this is my docking solution. This is my on the go. So this is really, these are my chargers, but also work as docks when I'm on the go. And I use the Covert Dock 1 for my new, I just have my switch, I plug it in on my desk. It's simple. That way, no more actual dock sitting there. Oh, and then in here, I have a very beefy battery pack. Very beefy battery pack. This one is 20,000 milliamp hours. It's by Basus. I like that it has a little like how much is left. It has pretty good USB-C out, which is huge. So this does all the charging I need it to do, which is awesome. Again, everything's listed below. And this does me fine. So this is all kind of in here at all times. And then on the other side, this case was actually given to me by someone who was like prototyping. I don't know if they're even making this anymore. And here's just like I don't have an Apple Watch anymore, so I can actually pull this Apple Watch charger out. It has my charger for my 3DS, USB-Cs, simple stuff, real simple stuff in here. Okay, and then let's get over to the Steam Deck, because the Steam Deck Loadout is very similar, but I've changed a couple things. Oh, that's really good. Okay, for the first thing with the Steam Deck Loadout is the physicals. I have the TomTalk case. A lot of people have been asking, what do you have on your Steam Deck? TomTalk case, okay? With the TomTalk case comes my Steam Deck itself, which doesn't have TomTalk gear on it. Actually, this is all the Steam Deck has what I call the Glock Loadout. Oops, accidentally turned it on. What am I playing? Oh, I'm playing some Chrono Trigger. What I have on it right now is a lot of Skull & Co. That's right, Skull & Co. So this is the Skull & Co. grip case kind of thing. It's malleable, like not malleable. It's not rigid, right? You can bend it, whatever. It's like a semi-tough, semi-hard, right? You're not gonna crack it if you bend it in half. I wouldn't recommend bending it in half, but it's just like a additional extra oomph to it. It doesn't make it feel all that much bigger, but it does get in the way of actually docking it on the Steam Deck dock. Okay, so the Steam Deck dock itself, it doesn't fit in. It'll fall over if you put it in there because it is too thick to sit in the Steam Deck dock if you use this guy, which I do. And the reason why I use this over the Covert dock is because I have additional stuff plugged in. I use with my Steam Deck, where is it? There it is, my 8BitDo Pro 2 controller. This is my Steam Deck controller, dedicated Steam Deck controller, because I want to have a dedicated port for it. And so this is my go-to 8BitDo, not Pro 2, Ultimate controller. That's what it is, the Ultimate controller. Did I say Pro 2? Excuse me, the Ultimate controller, wireless. This is unfortunately, in some ways unfortunate, whatever is BAYX, because it is technically the Switch version, so you can switch it over to the Switch version. If you didn't have a Pro controller and you're like, I just want one controller to rule them all for my Steam Deck OLED combo, that's kind of the play, because you have one, you flip over to the Switch side, and it just automatically does switch. You shake it, it'll wake your Switch, and then you switch it over to the Steam Deck side and put the included thing in the dock itself, and it will automatically work, right? You turn it on and you're good to go. So the problem, it doesn't dock. What's cool is it's still, this cable, even if it's not docked, will reach and fit perfectly fine right here. In fact, there's a cutout for this specific dock cable. It's great. And you can even go, let's see, how far away can I go from it? Oh, you can go like, it looks like 2.5 inches. About 2.5 inches away from it. So you're perfectly fine still just sitting in front. What's really nice about this specific grip case is it has this flat bottom to it. So if you were to want to do a tabletop mode or rest it, it rests perfectly fine. Something that can't be done when it's outside of the case or with something like the Asus ROG Ally. I learned that actually doesn't stand on its own, at least as easily. I'm sure you could balance it in a certain way, but I was certainly having a hard time doing that. Let's get that out of the way. So that's what's on here. I also have thumbstick risers by Skull & Co. There's really no reason for these as much, but I do like the feel. I think that it feels really, really nice, and it makes the whole setup very, very comfortable. And so this case is perfect for it because without this, in this TomTalk case, we're gonna get a lot of rattle and shake, and you're gonna see a lot of movement. But with this case and this additional bumper, making sure that none of these buttons are being pressed, and it's impossible for them to be pressed because there's this in the way. This also has a flap here that you can put some stuff, but I don't know why I would put anything here for my Steam Deck. Like, this just adds pressure on the screen, which I do have a tempered glass screen protector, and in the memory card slot, which is open, you can still get in there, right there. I do have a 1 terabyte card in there. Haven't upgraded the internal storage yet. I plan on doing that eventually, but this is good to go. I've also tested with my phone camera to see if these little things here clear, and they do clear. I made a video on this before. And so this whole compact little thing is great. This right here is perfect, and you can push really, really hard. There, I wish I could like actually have okay, yeah, it takes a lot of pressure to actually push. So these are really, really nice and protected. Now, nothing's moving. There's no shake at all in there. So that is this. Now with this, I do run this, my Steam Deck dock for all gaming that's like hybrid. And with this, I do, as I said, have this controller, which I think is really, really great. You can run this Bluetooth, and you could technically do the all Bluetooth solution with the Steam Deck, and with that Bluetooth, you could just run one cable to rule them all and just do covert dock and USB-C it. And that, I would highly recommend using the Covert Dock 2, which has been designed to output more power to allow you to do the very thing that I'm talking about, which is stream your deck and like actually have deck stuff going. And you can really pare it down. If you were gonna go so streamlined here, I would go Covert Dock 2 with their included USB-C cables, this 8-bit DOE Ultimate controller, and then you're good to go. That is like really gonna, ooh, I just spat a little. That is really gonna actually get you super, super locked in for your like needs, and then you can run Bluetooth on both. You just have to select back and forth. If you're willing to add a couple things to the mix, you can get a third-party dock. I have the first-party dock. It receives firmware updates. I'm a sucker for first-party, so I have first-party, and you can kind of build this out. This has plenty of additional options. You have HDMI port in here, and you have DisplayPort if you're gonna use that kind of thing. 3 USB-As, like you can put this, I can put the like an additional keyboard dongle, whatever, in here, and I can have a mouse in the third one, and I have a full setup if I want to go 2.4, or I can even hardline in, and it's just ready to go. And all I would have to do is plug this into my Steam Deck, and my Steam Deck is good to go, right? And that's why I like having the dock. There are a few things plugged into this at all times. I do have, usually I have my network cable plugged in, and so I'm getting better internet. Although I'll say the Wi-Fi on the Steam Deck is phenomenal. I don't know if they changed it from the LCD to OLED, but Wi-Fi on the OLED is like out of this world. I've downloaded games at over 500 megabytes a second. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. And that's just over wireless. And so, but I still hardline in because it reduces the, not necessarily latency, although it can. I have really good internet. It makes sure that there's no interruptions. I think that's the big thing. And so if I was to like really get this all pared down to what it looks like in a backpack, which I run an absurdly large backpack, which I'll show you in a second. This is it right here. That's it. That's all of it. I have my Steam Deck, my Switch, and my games. Everything right here. This is already in my bag at all times. I don't take it out, so additional plugs, stuff like that. The bag I use is ridiculous. I use quite a large bag, and that is gonna be this guy. This is a like 50-something odd liter, crazy huge backpack, tactical backpack by 511. This is their Rush 72. The reason why I use such a large bag is, like, I have changing mat for my boy, tactical of course. I have wipes and diapers and stuff, right? Tactical of course. And then I have other stuff, like in the front pouch. What do I have in here? Do I have it? I do. I have the current, whatever current one I'm reading of the manga. Some dude wipes because you got to take care of your, backstage. you know, a bunch of different stuff. This backpack is great, and if you want a video about just that backpack itself, I'm more than happy of doing kind of like what that backpack entails. I love reviewing that kind of gear, the EDC type of stuff. But as I said, like as a dad, I need that flexibility. It is the most important part of this hobby. And the reason why I'm so enamored by the Steam Deck and the Switch and all that fun stuff is because the flexibility it grants me in its portable nature, right? It's designed to have that portability. And in paring it down, really, if I wanted to, truly, if I wanted to, I really could, and I probably should, because I don't use that additional controller as much. And so let's just do it. Let's just do it right now. Here live, I'm making the decision. I'm gonna be putting that right here, sealing it up, sealed, done. And I am retiring this. So this is it. This is all of my gaming in 2 packs, all of my games, my 2 devices, that additional controller, no need for it, because I really am not going to use it on the go as often. And so there it is, guys. Boom. Nintendo Switch and Steam Deck Loadout for the 2023 Q2 2023, all set. No, I'm going back. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. I have to. I just like the controller. All right, guys, I'm going to finish my coffee. And if you're interested in live streams, JDX Coffee, linked below. If you want to grab a shirt, crazy awesome merch designed by Sandops, grab that. Support the channel as much as you can. And podcast coming soon. So, yeah. Okay. That was good. I like that. That was fun, right, Mario? Right, Luigi? Woohoo! All right. Happy gaming.